Hey, hi, you must be the new hire. Oh, welcome. So, what's your name? Nice. Oh, it's good to meet you. Is today your first day? All right, all right. Wow, well, welcome to the company. It's great to have you here. This is the mail room. You'll be working in the mail room. I'm going to be training and showing you how stuff is done. The mail room is the nuts and bolts of this company, kind of the backbone. It helps everything run the way it should. Everybody starts in the mail room, even the people up in corporate all had to start down here. Even if it was just for a day or two, everybody has to spend some time down here. So I'll be showing you how things are done, how they like things done. It's not really complicated working down here. A little bit of memory stuff, but most of it is just kind of learning how they want things done and the way they do it, their procedures. So I'll just explain everything as best I can. If something doesn't make sense, feel free to stop me. If you have any questions along the way, you can go ahead and ask me. I'll answer the questions that I can. If I have to explain something over, that's okay. I'll explain it as many times as it takes so you can get it. I don't mind at all. You'll be working with me today. We'll be working on this today, probably tomorrow. I think they're going to put you with somebody else later in the week. But this will give you a pretty good overall feel of how things are done. So let's get started. Part of the mailroom that we're in now, this particular section, is pretty much dedicated just to secondary operations, the different manufacturing processes that they have. It's really just the department heads. Here, there are different slots and also the different departments. They have, I should say that there are basically two groups in the mailroom. You have the sorters and you have the runners. Now we're going to be doing sort today. And the sorters, we basically process and intake all the mail that's coming, and we divide it up and we section it off where it's supposed to be, reroute it where it's supposed to go. For instance, we're going to have a big bin of mail. We're going to take the names and then put them in the appropriate slots and boxes, and then the runners are the people that actually make the deliveries to the individuals, to the departments. They also courier messages back and forth to different department heads, to the different floors. They'll put up the different memos. There's like a bulletin board on each floor, and there's a bulletin board that's dedicated for that floor and the department. And then like the company in general, there's a bulletin board. There's two different sides on the bulletin board. It's actually like two. It's one big bulletin board, but they have it sectioned off. And when you do running, when they show you that, they'll show you how that works. But basically what we'll be doing is sorting different mail that's coming in, different mail pieces, and sometimes there's interdepartment packages and parcels that we'll get, and we'll just put those in the slot that they're supposed to go in. So for instance, we have these different columns here. In each column, there's actually supposed to be a tag up there. It's not there. They keep falling off. We kind of already know just from doing it, but I guess it'd be good to put it up because with different new people coming in, they're not going to know. So it would help everybody to do that. But I say that to mention that like this column here represents a department. And then these will be individuals within the department. There'll be different like line leads, supervisors, the department head or whatever, supervisor like that, management. So their names will be here, and then we'll go all the way down. So let's say we have something for D operations, and D operations would be here. And then the different supervisors or whatever working in D operations, their mail would go there. You'd find the guy's name. So let's say it's Dennis Rogers. You find Dennis Rogers. Oh, he's in D. There's D operations. There it is right there. Boom, you put it in there. Or maybe it's facilities supervisor, and then you would stick it into that slot. So not too hard. So really, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We really only handle 4 departments and the supervisors or whatever. Well, I mean, we do more than that, but I'm saying that's what this section does. This section of the mailroom. We have all of that there. Then we have different slots there, and those are for larger parcels and pieces that go in there. There's also other people's names there where it would go. So there's that aspect. And that's really about it. They'll pull the bin in, and then we'll just take the mail out. We'll kind of sort it on the table, and then we'll put it in the appropriate slot. Anything that's not here, we put into a second bin, and we cart it off to the other section. But ideally, it's already organized before it gets here, so all we got to do is just pull it out and put it right in there. There are also, on the bottom, there's different forms. As you can see, we got these forms here. And each column has a set of forms. There's like general forms and standardized ones. And then these forms will be like for the department heads or people within there, the different supervisors and line leads that might need the forms to work on things that they have or to communicate with the people that are under them, that work with them. So we make sure that the form slots, there's like a slot that's just for the forms, that they're full. We restock it, and I'll show you where the different forms are later on. I'll go ahead and put this back. Looks good. And let's move over to where some drawers are. I'll show you where we have different supplies. Alright, I'll just show you where a few of the supplies are kept. There's things like markers, pens, sometimes little tags that you might need to write on. And here we have those little canisters. We sometimes keep the smaller pieces in there, little pins, different things that we use. We won't be working on that today, but when they talk about it later on in the week, that's where those little containers are. They're very handy and useful. And also, more of those containers with some other articles, basically copy paper there, and things for the printer and the copier, the little pieces and components, articles like that, they like to keep there. In the drawer here we have some folders. We have these empty folders here. Dividers, actually, they're dividers, so when we're doing filing, it really helps. Sometimes we'll have, for instance, actually the runners use these, so we'll have a lot of maybe copies in packets to deliver, and sometimes they come all at once, and there's ones going to different departments. So what we'll do is, like Department A has a whole bunch of papers, we'll put the divider there so that when we get Department C's paperwork or forms or what they need, they don't get mixed up. It just makes it a lot easier to organize. You just slap one of these down there, put the next stack down on top of it, and move about your business. If you have another department, more paperwork, you slap that down. Also, if there's two different sets of paperwork, but it's going to the same department, maybe they have two different sets, like two different clients, or they're for separate orders, or whatever it may be. When there's a lot of paperwork stacked up, even if there isn't a lot, these really come in handy. So we have them in here. We have this little notebook, and it basically is just to keep track of the stock and organize it, just so that Dennis, he's the one that orders supplies, so we don't get behind and lose stuff or not have what we're supposed to. We always stay stocked up, so it's like a little notebook to jot down any kind of stuff that we might be needing or that they need to reorder. So that's kept right there. This file have another logbook, which we don't need to mess with right now. There's different program DVDs or CDs. That was when we were running different software on our computer, but we don't really do that anymore. That's actually been delegated to another department, so it's just kind of left over from what used to be. So that's something we have to worry about. Here is a charger for our walkie-talkies. Looks like that one's out, so Should be charged up. Looks like printer ink there. And that's an empty drawer. This basket here, that's for papers that, let's see, that shouldn't be there. What that? Yeah. This is actually supposed to be somewhere else. I'm glad I found it, but any kind of misfit type paperwork that doesn't belong, or we don't have a spot for it, or maybe it came here, but it's actually supposed to be in the other section of the mailroom. It got mis-sorted. We put it in that basket so that it can be dealt with. Actually, I should say the mis-sorts we just put in the other outgoing basket that we're taking around. That one there is for paperwork that doesn't seem to fit. It's either outdated or it doesn't belong in any department. So what are we supposed to do with it? We stick it in there, and then somebody else deals with it, not us. So I'm going to put this here so we can deal with that later. Actually, I'm going to just set that down there. Alright, I showed you the cabinets up there. I showed you some of these. There's some more that go down that way, and I think one of them they'll have like markers. They'll have like scratch paper, different little name tag type things, so little knick-knack articles of such, of that nature. Let's see, there's more dividers, more copy paper. You can't ever have too much copy paper. And that's empty. And right here we have these like sticky tabs. Now we have a whole lot of different colors. I picked out the blue ones, and we use these for marking different packets that we would get in. There's a chart where it will show you what color tab goes on what, so depending upon the department you're taking it to, what paperwork is, you might stick a blue sticker on there. It's also a way of marking the date. So for instance, if it came in on a Tuesday, like a yellow tab is Tuesdays, so you stick a yellow on there, then you see, a green tab and thinking, well, oh, that's Thursday. They find it's better than just writing it out because it's faster than writing the date. And sometimes when people wrote the date before, I guess it wasn't as legible. So they have this color code system that helps them to know the time that it arrived in. So these are all over there. We have a whole bunch of them. Yeah. So those tabs are there. That pretty much covers this aspect. We didn't go to the sort floor yet where they have all the mail coming in, but we're not going to be doing that today because we're in the section where it's already been sorted and it's kind of routed here, and then we're just going to put it in the slot of the individual department where it's going. So, today is a pretty quiet day, actually. Not a whole lot going on, so it should be good. The other cool thing is that we get to take our lunch break pretty much whenever we want. There's two busy points where we really shouldn't go then, and we can't because there's a lot of stuff coming. But other than that, we're able to, as long as our work is done, we can take lunch whenever we feel like it, so that's kind of cool. Unless you're a runner, a little bit tougher then, because you're on call and you're getting sent to do things and you're running errands, so it could be a little tricky. But in the sort room and sort floor, we go to break whenever we want. Can't think of anything else offhand. I used to have a checklist. I should make a checklist. I can go down and make sure that I'm covering everything. I had some paper a while back, but I haven't really used it lately. Haven't trained anyone in a while. But let's go to where the paperwork is, the different forms, and I'll show you about that. Okay, so here we are. All the forms are back here behind me. This is pretty much everything that we use. There are all kinds of things like if something needs to get repaired, if another department needs to order something. All of those are here. There's also a few booklets here as well. For instance, we have some stuff that the Red Cross gave us. Preventing disease transmission. So, this is this little booklet here. It's pretty cool. It's got different information and things to look at and learn about, talking about different diseases and how they could be spread. There's one that also pertains to how that might happen through the mail. If something was sent, some kind of bio contaminant or something of that nature. So this has things about important certification information, and then the different regulations that there are. The body's immune system is very good at fighting disease. Yes, how disease is spread, and then there's different little bits of information on that. So this might be good to read through this book here, little booklet. Pretty informative. And there's a glossary in the back that has, well, different words and their meaning. Antibodies, bacteria, bile, bloodborne pathogens, and so on. Body substance isolation. Vector transmission. Work practice controls. Okay. Yes, how to put on and then take off, those latex gloves, if you had occasion to use those or something. So anyway, of course that's here. This is a little brochure for employees it's basically if they need to talk to someone, whether it's, a counseling issue, or they just feeling upset about something, or they want some advice on, like a career path or stuff with their money. It's pretty much doesn't matter what. There's a number and an organization there if you want to call. Confidential. It's an employee assistance program that the company offers. So it's free. So we have these here. Those there. And then, of course, there's all the different forms. There's like a form for accident reports. I think I mentioned a form for requesting supplies. If there's a maintenance or facility request issue, if something's broken, you can fill the form out for that, send it in. They pretty much have a form here for everything. They love forms. And all those forms are right here. These yellow ones, they're color-coded. These pink ones are, I think, well, let's see, let's take a look and see that form. It's a injury report accident. If there was an accident, you fill that out. We have to fill it out. A copy goes to the safety department, and then one goes to human resources, and then, of course, depending on the department where the accident occurred, the person in charge of that department, they also get a copy. There are all these forms here. They're not organized alphabetically. I think it's more kind of just random-ish. So there's checklists. If when you're doing an inspection, a lot of times you might have to check your area. When I say area, I'm talking about not like the whole floor, but maybe one area of the mailroom that you're doing. Like in our case, it'll be the mailroom. So there'll be things that we're supposed to check off. And it's more kind of like making sure, are we stocked up on these items? Do we have enough, like, toner, ink cartridge for the printers? Is everything working like it should? There's even something on the form that says, do we have enough forms? And then I might ask, about different things. Are they functioning the way they should? Just so try to preventative maintenance kind of approach to make sure that stuff is working like it should, and to maybe foresee, like maybe this wire is stripped or this looks like it's wearing out. That way they can come fix it before it becomes a problem. So there's more forms down at the bottom. So really, you just kind of see what it is you need and then come find the appropriate form. The only one we don't have, and it's a form that security uses, and that's like an incident report for something that they would write up. Actually, we do have some, but they're really like for a backup in case security runs out, because they maintain their own. But if something ever happened with their forms, we have like the master set here. But generally, we won't use them. And if we did have to use it, we're really supposed to go to security and involve them, and they come fill the report out. So it's really their report that's getting used from their thing. But if for some reason they ran out, they want corporate, the company wants us to have a copy so that like they'll never be out of forms with that. Theoretically, we all follow what we're supposed to do, and part of the checklist is making sure, yes, we have all the forms we need, but if something happened and security didn't have it, we have it. And if we do what we're supposed to, we'll never run out. So that's kind of neat, because, security usually always has it, but if something happened and they didn't have a form, they can come to us and we have a form. So, man, it comes out good because we're covered and we got what we need. So that's pretty much it for this intro. This was kind of just like a quick introductory to this particular part of the mailroom, but there's, of course more, and we'll go ahead later on and go through the different procedures of stuff we do through the day. You just kind of follow me through. It won't be that difficult. I'll introduce you to some people, and that's pretty much it. So we can probably go take a break. I don't know if they showed you where the break room is at, but the one on our floor is pretty nice. They got some cool vending machines, and I'm not sure if they told you about the cafeteria, but they have really good food there, and it's a little pricey sometimes, but it's worth it. I think the pizza's really good. The burgers are fantastic. I love the chicken fried steak and mashed potatoes and gravy. That's like my total favorite. And most of their soups are pretty good. The vegetable one, not so much, but all the other ones I think are really good. And their chili is amazing. So you can bring your own lunch, of course, but the food here is really great. Sometimes they have like a Chinese stir-fry type of thing. You can like smell it. I smell it from here. It's so good. So a lot of times I can't resist having it, so I don't even bother with my own lunch. I'll just, want to eat here. But I tell you that so that you know some of your options at the cafeteria, so you could check that out. And I think that pretty much covers it. So I'll just let you hang here. I'm going to go take care of some stuff, and then I'll just meet back with you later. Okay, I'll be right back.